Hi there. Are you using Notion to manage your task and you are using Google Calendar to organize your schedule and you are looking for a way to synchronize or connect both these applications with each other? To create basic synchronization. So, for example, you want to create a Google Calendar event whenever you add a Notion database item. So, this video is for you. In this video, we are going to see how you can connect these two apps and create automated workflows. So we are going to see the step-by-step process and we will understand the need of this process first. So let us begin with why there is a need to connect Notion with Google Calendar. So I'll give you a very simple example. In my screen, you see that I have a task list, and it's a to-do task list. So what I want to do is whenever I add a to-do item, I want to create a Google Calendar event so I know that there is there is an important event coming up and my Google Calendar is connected with Slack and other tools so I can get notified on these applications too. So I want to create an automation which can help me create Google Calendar events whenever I simply add a task in my Notion task list. So that is just one example, but if you have a similar need to be able to create Google Calendar events from new Notion database item, so you can keep following the video and your problem is going to be solved. So now let us begin with the process. So first thing is that we are going to use a tool here, which is an amazing automation tool called SureTriggers. It helps you connect different applications with each other. It integrates with more than 300 plus applications, and with the help of SureTriggers, you can create very powerful automation. So for example, if you're running an e-commerce business, you can simply create a notification system to automatically send order confirmation messages to people whenever they make a purchase, send feedback forms after 7 days of purchase and stuff like that. So that is just an example of e-commerce. You can use it for any automation that you want to create by simply connecting the apps that you use. In our case, we are going to use Notion and Google Calendar. So now we will see how you can get SureTriggers. So it's very simple. Simply go to the website SureTriggers.com and click on this button which says get started. You will be asked to register on the website by some simple details like name, email, password and all. Like it is like a regular sign up process. And after you sign up, you will get into SureTriggers and your screen is going to look like this. You will be on the SureTriggers dashboard, from where you can start creating the automation to create Google Calendar event from Notion database items. So now I am gonna click on the button to create the workflow. This button which says create workflow, that is the step 1. Simply click on this and give a name to your workflow. So this is just for your reference. So I'm gonna name my workflow as create calendar events from Notion items and click on start building button. Now we are in the automation builder screen. This is called the automation builder screen for SureTriggers, and now we want to add a trigger event. So I'll explain what trigger event is. So basically it is the application or the event which is going to start the workflow. In our case, the workflow is going to be started whenever a new whenever a new database item is created in Notion. So we are going to select our trigger application as Notion. Then we have to select the event. So it is auto selected, which is new database item. We want to trigger this workflow whenever a new database item is added. Next, you want to select a connection. So I'll explain what connection is. Connection is basically the making sure that you have connected your Notion account with Google with SureTriggers. So SureTriggers can help you automate processes. So now I have already connected my Notion account with SureTriggers. So if you are using it for the first time, you simply have to click on this button which says create new connection, and there are going to be some prompts on your screen. You simply have to follow them. So select pages, allow permissions and stuff like that. After that, you will be returned to the screen and you will be able to see your Notion account listed here. So you can simply select it, and after that you have to select a database. So in my case, I have multiple database created and I want the automation to trigger when some new item is created in this particular database task list. So I'll select it and then I'll click this fetch data button. Fetch data button is going to bring the details of the last database item that was created in my Notion account. So I will search for title, and this is a blank item which got created. So I'll delete this, and we will use information from some of the existing items. So I'll simply cross this and click on fetch data button again. Now we will search for title. So you see that there is a task in my Notion database which is record tutorial videos, and this is the task, and there are some details here: start date, when do I want to start this task, when do I want to end it, and I am going to use this information to create the Google Calendar event automatically. So next we will save this. It has all the information related to task, so we can save this. Next, there is some important thing that is related to the timing of the task. So here you see that the time says tomorrow 12 p.m. end date tomorrow 1 p.m. So this is a 1 hour task. And if we look the details here, so this is start date. So if we look for start date value in the details here, you see that the start date looks like something like this: 20, 23, 11, 20, T12. And this is this is not a human readable format. This is not a date time format that we generally use. This is something that computers understand, which is why Notion is sending the date time in this format, and we want to make it in human readable format before we create a Google Calendar event. So for that, we are going to use one of the tools of SureTriggers, which is called formatters. So to use that, you simply have to click on this plus icon, search for formatters, and select what do you want to format. We want to format date and time. Select the action. Now there are multiple actions. We can manipulate the date and time in many ways, but for now what we want to do is we want to change the date time format. So this is the option that we want to select. Format date changes the format of date time to a new format. So now we will map the data, or simply insert the data from the previous step in this field. Enter date. Enter date you would like to manipulate. So yes, we would like to manipulate the start date. So I will simply type @ here to map data from the last step. Search for start, and this is the start date. This is I'll simply click on it to select. Identify source date format. So this can be auto detected, so I'll skip this for now, and I'll select the result format. This is important. Which format do I want the date in? So I want the date format to look like this. So month, date, date and years, hours and minutes. Or let's go more specific. We can see this. This is a more specific date type format where the date is a number, month is text, and then there is time. So I'll select this, click on test action button, and you see we got our date converted into a readable format. So this is something that we will use while creating the Google Calendar event. Now we'll save this, and now I'm gonna rename this step. This says format the data, format date. So I'll rename it to keep in mind what we are doing here. So I'll say format start date, and next we are going to do the same thing for end date too. So I'm gonna duplicate this step, and I'm gonna name this to format end date, and we are going to make some changes here. So you see that it still has the start date here, so we want to change it to end date. Which is this one. We are going to click this and test action again. 1 p.m. Yes, we got our result. Next, we are going to create the Google Calendar event. So for which I'll again click on the plus icon and search for Google Calendar. So we have multiple Google applications. We can simply select Google Calendar and select the event. Now you can do a lot of things like update event, delete event, add attendees to existing event, or create a simple new event from simple prompts. So we are gonna select this, create quick event, select the connection. Again, it's the same thing. If you have if you did not have your Google Calendar account linked with SureTriggers, you can simply click on create new connection button, follow the instructions on the screen, and your account is going to get connected. Right now I have it connected, so I'm going to select it, and then I have to select the calendar. Right now I have one calendar, so I'll select it. Next, describe the event. What the event is about, when should be the timings and all. So for that, what we want to do is we will use the Notion item title as the events title. So I'm simply going to select enter @ and search for title, record tutorial videos, and there are some instructions. Let us just read plain text description of the event. Google will simply understand whatever you have written here and create a event from this. So right now what we want to do is we want to create a event with this title on the date, which is start date, and our start date is coming from the formatter step, which is the human readable version. Next, we are going to tell till when is the event. So again, we will map the end date here, and then do we want to add attendees to this event? For now we don't have that need, but if you get attendee information or particular emails in your Notion task list, so you can use those emails to add them in the event that is going to be created. So but for now I'm not gonna do that. I'll simply click on test action button, and you see test action tested successfully. That means a test event got created in our account. Let us go to Google Calendar and see for this event. So you see tomorrow's date, and I am able to see the event which says record video to 1 p.m. So yeah, that is the title that we went for. Next, what we want to do is we want to save this step. Now this automation is complete. That means the process is ready to go live. So to take this live, I simply have to click on publish button, and this is active. Now you see this is running. So whenever now a Notion database item is going to be created in your Notion database, you will find a Google Calendar event automatically added into your Google Calendar. So it's that simple. So hope this video was helpful. So if you want a step-by-step guide for this, you can find it in the description below, and you can also find links to get started with SureTriggers. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at support@suretriggers.com. Thank you for watching.